Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Sports Talk with me, Rick. What's going on? I hope you're having a blessed day. Before you say, Rick, why you wearing a hoodie? It's 90 degrees. Why you wearing a jacket? It's 90 degrees outside. You know, it's freezing in the car. It's freezing in my office. And I thought that it was just to keep a jacket on. I'm going running after, after everything. So I have a t-shirt on. So anyway, man, I want to say shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all the old subscribers. Shout out to those of you who haven't subscribed yet. Who've been watching watching the channel. I appreciate you anyway, man. We're gonna talk about before I talk about the Eagles, Elon Musk, Jeffrey Lurie. Let me say this: the Carolina Panthers still paying Frank Reich was fired in 2023. He's being paid $25,000 per day. Frank Reich was fired. That should have been it was a disaster from the beginning. He's being paid $25,000 per day just to stay home, and they won't. This deal won't go through. Well, won't be finished until 2026, I believe. The end of 2026, 2027 season, which is when the Carolina Panthers will be done paying this man $25,000 a day just to stay home, man. That's a good deal to have, man. Anyway, man, in 1994, 30 years ago, 30 years ago, Jeffrey Lurie bought the Philadelphia Eagles from I think Norman Broman for $185 million. And 1994 at that time, buying the Eagles at $185 million, that was considered one of the biggest purchase in sports. Period. Like buying the team for that kind of money. Yes, Jeffrey Lurie became a billionaire with the Eagles, whose value now at $6.6 billion. Of course, they won multiple championships. Being in the playoffs, all that stuff. So the value he added to that team, he deserved it, right? But bought the team for $185 million. At the time, he didn't have the money. He had to take a bank loan. He had some stocks. He had to add the stocks he had from other ventures. He add those stocks to Norman Broman. So the stocks he had, Norman broke. He had stocks worth stocks and worth about I think $85 million worth of stocks he had, where he transferred over from his to Norman Broman. The family trust had about $50 million in the family trust that was transferred straight to Broman to have that trust. And then he took a bank loan for $50 million to total $185 million to buy the Philadelphia Eagles at $185 million. At that time, like I said, it was the biggest deal, biggest purchase in sports. And so that's that. But now, if you look at the Commanders, right? The Commander was purchased for $6.05 billion. The Broncos was purchased for $4.65 billion. The Panthers were purchased at $2.3 billion, and the purchasing, and still making a bad decision. You're still paying multiple coaches. It's ridiculous. The Bills, was purchased. They were purchased at $1.4 billion. So the reason I'm saying this right now, Elon Musk has been trying everything. He's been working with several organizations. Trying. With everything's going to him, him losing the money he was losing with his Tesla, aligning himself with Trump, all the tobacco, all the stuff he was doing, all the scam that was going on with Elon Musk. He was losing. He lost about $100 billion, and he decided So that was something that took him from the $400 billion he was worth, and he decided now he's been talking with Jeffrey Lurie to sell the Eagles to Elon Musk, for according to $11.6 billion. He wants to purchase the Eagles, who's worth 6.6 billion. He wants to he's talking with Jeffrey Lurie. Elon Musk made an offer to Jeffrey Lurie and his group for $11.6 billion. So having the Eagles worth 6.6 billion, you made an offer for 11.6 billion. So that's $5 billion over the book value for the Eagles. Now people who say, hey, the Eagles are, why would you pay $11.6 billion to the Eagles? Now, when you look at it, right, the Dallas Cowboys consider the America's team. I think that by 2026, 2027, their value, although they haven't won, they haven't made a playoff in a long time, they haven't, been in a dance anywhere, but their book value, the market value, is gonna go up to an additional $2 billion compared to what they are worth now. You have to look at where they are in Dallas. They bleed in the people there in Dallas and Texas, period. They eat, sleep football. Sports is one of the biggest things, but football, if you've been to Texas, the stadium, those are huge. Even for Pop Warner, they building $1 million stadiums. High school stadiums, look like they look like the pros. So football is big there. Everything's big there in Dallas, but football is this is where they bleed. And Dallas Cowboys values, of course, has gone up. Now, so for Eagle fans to get if I was a fan of the Eagles, to have a guy like Elon Musk coming in, it's not a good thing. So usually Elon Musk's gut when he come to when he purchased something, it's not the same. What he's done. So I would be worried about that. So Ari Wolfman wouldn't have the same markup, the way that Jeffrey Lurie has allowed him to take his time to build the team. Most people, fans, I live in Pennsylvania, and a lot of fans have, if you listen to the radios, all that stuff, the fans have called for Jeffrey Ari Wolfman to be fired multiple times. But all this men been doing is building the team, and that's the relationship you need, right? You need to have that type of relationship as an owner to know that, okay, yes, I own this team, I own this company, but I'm hiring people that's making the right decision, right? And you hiring people that's making the right decision. And I think that Jeffrey Lurie, from the beginning, he had a vision. The vision he had is is not just winning championship, of course, but also growing the company, growing the organization, growing the Eagles organization to be a juggernaut, which is what he's been doing. You purchased a team for $185 million, right? Where you had to give up your family trust, where you had to give up your stocks, and you had to take a bank loan for $50 million in order to combine for $185 million to sell, to buy something. So he gambled. He did gamble big time. Putting up his family trust, putting up his stocks, he owned, and then going to take a loan to purchase a team for $185 million, not for the team to be valued $6.6 billion. So he was trying to sell $3.5 billion, the team, to still remain the majority owner of the team, right? But then a guy like Elon Musk, who is worth $400 billion, said, hey, I want to buy this team from you for $11 billion, for $11.6 billion. Yes, I know the value of the team right now is $6.6 billion. I'm willing to pay up a markup value, based on, of course, what as in business. In business, you have to do what's right for you, right? It's just like hiring, right? Just like hiring. You could say, hey, can I hire? Yes, I have the money, right? I have the money. Can I just hire somebody in this state? Can I hire in that state? You got to say to yourself, do I want to put the money together? Do I want to do that? And then you look at it, which quarter do you do it? Or do you do that in Q1, Q2, Q3, or Q4 to make sure that from a financial standpoint, that you're still gonna take a hit regardless, right? As an owner, when you put in money out, you're gonna take a hit regardless of what's going on. You're gonna take a hit in terms of the money you spending for your budget, but you want to make sure that it's a smart buy. You buy what you need, not what you want. You know what I mean? But Jeffrey Lurie in the position right now, he loves what's going on. So Elon Musk is pretty much saying, okay, I'm buying the team outright from you for $11.6 billion. You have nothing to say, no say so with the organization. You no longer will own anything. I'm buying 100% share from you for $11.6 billion. But then I'm gonna bring the best mind. That's what Elon Musk I've told Jeffrey Lurie, which is where Jeffrey Lurie was trying to sell, $3.6 billion, half of the team. But then to have a guy say, I want to buy 100% of the team from you, but then I want to gut everything. And then, for Jeffrey Lurie, yes, the money sounds great, but then to look at the relationship he's built with that organization, right? And you look at it as an owner, it's not something you wanna hear when you selling your product, when you selling your company, sold your company to someone, and that person's vision is to gut the team, right? That person's vision is to gut the organization, to fire people, do that, but you look at it's trust. Jeffrey Lurie trusts Howie Roseman, who had a vision to build the team, and they done that. Every year you see Howie Roseman will let certain player walk, certain did whatever, so they done a lot of stuff. So if you decide, if you're gonna let a star, to me, I think the best GM in the NFL, one of the best GM in the NFL is Howie Roseman, hands down. For Eagle fans, Eagle have a gem in Howie Roseman, a guy who can not only from the draft, but he has the ability to take the other team reject players that team reject, don't want to whatever. He has the ability to take those players to come in here, for low money, right? Have those teams come in for low money and able to transform those guys to superstars, and those guys ended up leaving to go somewhere else for big bucks because of the system, not just the system itself, but because of what he's done. So and there are times where Eagles weren't, they didn't win. People were calling for his head, and Jeffrey Lurie was like, no, I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna let him keep doing what he's doing. I'm gonna let him do what he does, because I know the value that he brings to the team. I know the value he brings to the organization. So I'm not gonna do that. So and it's difficult sometimes, for those to make those decisions. To say, hey, no matter what, yes, this person has cost me $20 million. Right? This person I've called. Many of us been there. This person has cost me $20 million. But then with him, my company has grew from, I would say 100 million to 2 billion. So it's the money that he costs you far more than what you made with him, right? The decision making, So you look at all that stuff overall, So I think, yes, Jeffrey Lurie I've saved the Eagles a lot of money. His management style, the way he does things, have saved the Eagles a lot of money. They also made a lot of money. They made money. He saved money. He's done a lot for the team. People could say, well, because he didn't do this, he cost whatever. Hey, when you let a linebacker go, you let a safety go. You let a safety go the first time. Forgot his name. Oh my God, I'm drawing blank. He won a Super Bowl with them. Under Peterson, and then let him go. Look at that. He caught an interception this year. He came back. You Eagle fans, you understand what I'm talking about. I forgot his name. He caught an interception, number 8. I believe. Quarter interception, returning for either a pick six, whatever. You win a Super Bowl with him. So it's a beautiful thing, man. So for Eagle fans, do you wanna sell? Do you wanna have an owner like Jeffrey Lurie who's patient with coaches, who's patient with Ari Roseman to let Ari Roseman build the team, or do you want an owner like like Elon Musk, who's gonna come in just gut the team, not just gut the team from a management standpoint? And you need your scouts, you need all those players, all those people to make decisions to make sure that the things are right for them, man. I don't think that Elon Musk come into he's called a lot of organizations to try to purchase the team, but they it's not working. But I don't think that again, if I own the Eagles, if I'm Howie Roseman, I mean if I'm Jeffrey Lurie, yes, the company's value at $6.6 billion. And selling is not always the good thing. A guy coming and saying, "I'll buy the team from you for $11.6 billion." I think you stay put, man. I think you stay put. But hey, we'll see what happens. But anyway, man, Jeffrey Lurie, you have a tough decision to make. We'll see what happens. Anyway, man, sports talk. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace out.